Yeah, so institutions have all the money because everybody put all their money in the institutions. And while some people will take their money out of institutions and get their own private keys to use DeFi, I think in many cases the clients of institutions will want to use DeFi through the institution, right? So the institution will become the conduit through which large, and I'm going to say large, I mean hundreds of trillions of dollars. Right?
It's likely that those deficits will then produce lots of bond sales, which will compound it. When you get into the point in the cycle where debt is needed to pay debt and compounds, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem also for the central banks, because the central banks, by the way, this is not just an American problem, this is a world problem. The central banks themselves own the debt. And so, and they lose money on the debt. And so when they're losing money on the debt and they have asset liability problems, then they also not only have to monetize essentially the government's debt, but they also have to monetize theirs. And those are the characteristics that produce a deterioration in the monetary order. And that's why what you're seeing. You're seeing a dynamic of why countries, for example, are letting their reserves or their assets in bonds and so on go down, and they're acquiring and have been acquiring gold, for example. So gold is a currency. We think of currencies as being the major fiat currency, but gold is a currency. It's the second largest reserve currency.
It could, the $2,000 dividend could come in lots of forms, in lots of ways, George. It could be just the tax decreases that we are seeing on the president's agenda. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, deductibility of auto loans. So, those are substantial deductions that, are being financed in the tax bill
you were giving them when it comes to artificial intelligence. You introduced Sidekick, which is an AI helper of sorts. And I was pretty stunned to see how it's really helping a lot of these businesses. I mean, if you're looking at the impact of it, in the third quarter alone, some 750,000 stores on Shopify used Sidekick for the first time. What did they say about it?
It's amazing. I mean, Sidekick has now had now you're getting me excited about this stuff, because I think this is so interesting. From a leveling the playing field perspective for small, medium-sized businesses and just business of all sizes, Sidekick has had almost 100 million conversations with merchants to date, 8 million conversations in October alone. So what's happening is, effectively, what we've created is this tool that knows everything about your business, knows everything about Shopify, and is able to help you make better decisions faster. So it started as really merchandising, where we help you with product descriptions and product photography, but now you can do incredible things around analytics, figuring out what products sell in what geography, where to set up ad campaigns, what channels are operating better. So now you can be at your mom's kitchen table, solo entrepreneur, and have effectively the tools that historically only the biggest companies were able to have. And it's this incredible tool that we think is going to really allow more business to grow faster at a much higher clip than ever before. I mean, this is really the power, and this is really where we say that Shopify is uniquely positioned to harness the power of AI, because these tools are things that small entrepreneurs were never able to access, and now it's baked into Shopify, and it gets smarter and smarter over time. So we're really excited by this. The adoption's been broad and increasingly very rapid, but really what it does, it lowers the barrier to entrepreneurship, which means more people can get started and more people can scale. And then when you add in some of the stuff we're doing on the agentic shopping with our partnership with OpenAI and Perplexity, now you're beginning to see where this is all going, and it's getting really cool and really exciting.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Sergey sounding like Brad Garlinghouse. The banks have the money. And we need the banks in order to make this digital economy happen. But remember, guys, the Bitcoin narrative was placed in front of you due to the central banks. It was the perfect narrative in order to bring in this fourth industrial revolution. But the central banks will bring in trillions of dollars into this space, but because it was a plan, and the plan moves in phases. They want the machines to take over the economy while the people sit at home and get free money. And machines now have money where they can pay each other without a human involved. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Ray Dalio saying that countries are getting rid of their reserves and also parking their money into gold. And we can clearly see fiat is definitely going away and digital money is coming in. But again, it's a plan, it moves in phases. We have Ray Dalio spent decades over in China. But one thing he doesn't talk about is the fourth industrial revolution. And we see China and Japan with all types of automation that we don't get to see. Unless you're doing research, you don't understand that they're at least 10 years ahead of us. And that's why when the fourth industrial revolution kicks off, it's going to be like we're in a whole nother world because it's going to move so fast to us, but it was already ready 10, 15, 20 years ago. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Trump getting the people excited again. Talks about a $2,000 dividend check from these tariffs. And of course, Scott Besson comes in with the Hegelian dialectic and says it can get paid in other ways besides a check. And we know the people want a check. But we do have the Supreme Court that's going to be ruling on these tariffs. And anyway, whether they rule for them or against them, it's going to bring a lot of volatility to markets. If they rule for the tariffs, it's going to be volatility long term. If they rule against them, it's going to be volatility short term. Because if tariffs stay on, we know inflation is going to keep rising. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then we have AI. AI is coming to all these apps. Shopify is one of them. And of course, they're selling you on how easy it is to use. But remember, guys, as this technology gets smarter and smarter, it's not only going to be learning your habits, the person who's using it, but then also your consumer habits. And they're going to learn from these shopping carts. And they're going to be able to know you better than you know yourself. And don't forget your digital twin. And then we have BNY Mellon coming on the campus of University of Central Florida. You can't make this stuff up. Guys, we know it is a plan. It moves in phases. And education is definitely the next step. Cybersecurity, engineers, education on blockchain, digital assets, and plus AI. And if you have some great minds, guess what comes with it? Great ideas. We know they use the greatest minds for evil. And never forget, technology can be used for good or evil. It just depends on the hands that it's in. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Wall Street increases its prominence in the Sunshine State, it's going to need a new crop of financially savvy and educated employees. BNY, formerly known as Bank of New York Mellon, is launching a partnership with the University of Central Florida for a co-located educational innovation hub at UCF's main campus. This $5 million five-year deal will include an 8,400 square foot next-generation cybersecurity technology and operations center lab, where students will be taught by BNY executives to better prepare to join the next wave of the financial workforce. BNY is the world's largest bank custodian, which serves more than 90% of the Fortune 100 companies, nearly all top 100 global banks, and has $57.8 trillion in assets under custody. The stock has gained nearly 44% over the last year.
I'm actually speaking to you from our brand new campus here just outside Orlando, where we recently unveiled a new 300,000 square foot investment for our 2,500 employees that we've got here. It's our third largest facility in the United States. And to the prior segment, we view Florida as a great place to do business, and we're proud to be expanding our presence here. And as you just said, one of the things that we're doing doing as part of that expansion is we are always on the hunt for talent. And so we've unveiled this new collaboration with the University of Central Florida. It's the largest public university in Florida, third largest in the nation, and they are beautifully positioned between the Space Coast and all of the investments that attracted from the space industry and the entertainment industry. And in our business, we need the best engineers, the students who are going to come into our company, bring all of that DNA on how to be able to delight our customers and engineer the best solutions. And so I was just with President Cartwright and the faculty of UCF unveiling that great new space. And as you said, it's our people who are the faculty for that course. You get accredited credits at the University of Central Florida for the course. We've unveiled this great space, and it's a deep collaboration and partnership between one of the state's great research universities and us, one of the world's leading financial services firms.
Everything. Specifically, the panel that I moderated for the company SoundHound was about audio AI for banks, agentics that are actually helping banks, and I would imagine the back rooms of banks do what they need to do, and that's your bailiwick, is it not, Robin?
Well, I was there at Money 2020 as well, and it was a terrific opportunity for us to be able to connect with clients and to tell these stories, because what you're describing is ultimately what we're all about. Innovation. And so it can be digital assets, and what we're seeing from the administration and what we're seeing from the SEC really unlocking the power of a company like ours to be able to be a leader in digital assets. We want the US to lead on digital assets. So with that wind at our back, and then the investment in AI to bring superpowers for our people to be able to move faster, deliver more, we view those as very, very exciting innovations. So look, we're America's oldest bank. We've been around since the days of our founder, Alexander Hamilton. And in order to be able to keep being relevant in each cycle of the world, you've got to be a big innovator. You've got to be an investor in new talent, like we're doing at the University of Central Florida, investor in new technologies, like we're doing with AI and digital assets. And it's very important as we look to serve our clients in new and better ways.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, The majority of people who are putting money in an index, in an ETFs, are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. From COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.